Hi, Chaz. This is Steve Jewin from MMA Mania. How are you doing today?
I'm not doing too bad. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. First, I want to find out an update because last I knew you were on a 180-day medical suspension after the fight with Jason Knight. Where are you at right now?
I'm just getting back. I'm getting back to. I was, it took a little longer than expected to recover. I had, more. I actually had more than one injury, so it was like I had injuries that were injuries previously before the fight, and then I also had the surgery on my arm. So it took, I'm just getting back to training now.
The injuries then are healed up from the surgery and the pre-existing injuries. Everything's good to go for training then?
Oh yeah, feeling pretty good. Finally.
Well, that's good to hear because we don't want to see the scrapper out of action for too long. You're one of the most exciting featherweights in the UFC. So what do you attribute your scrappiness to?
Uh, I think just mentality. I just hate to lose. I think for me, it's just the way I grew up, kind of since I started as a kid. It was, wrestling. Our whole family's just always been. We've always been a wrestling family, and I grew up with older brothers and cousins beating on me all the time, and it's just a matter of, I guess, mentality. Just got to get out there and get it done. Hate to lose, really, more than anything.
Well, you've shown that in many of your performances, including the two UFC records you currently hold. One is the fastest submission in the featherweight division, just 19 seconds, and the other is fastest turnaround between two wins, 13 days at UFC Fight Night 49 and 50.
I think as far as the 2 wins in 13 days, it's kind of grittiness more than anything. The hardest part about that was just the weight cut. I'm a big featherweight, so when they called me for the second fight, obviously there's no way I'm going to turn that down. 2 paychecks for 1 fight camp. I mean, be an idiot to turn that down. And I knew it was going to be tough going in because of the weight cut. So basically, I just had to get it done, And as far as the quickest submission, I mean, that's luck. Things just happened the way they happened. I think I had a game plan going in, and it just worked out perfectly. I couldn't have asked for it to work out any better. Obviously, it's just everything just kind of fell into my lap there. So there's nothing I can't say that I did anything special to make that happen. It just kind of fell into my lap.
Well, I'll still say it's special even if you don't, because Maximo Blanco is a pretty tough guy, so to catch him in an anaconda choke that fast is really spectacular, especially when it happened so fast he didn't even have time to tap out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. When I just put the squeeze on it, I had a perfect angle on it, so I've got a good squeeze because I work on that a lot. And once you get a good angle on somebody, those blood chokes, it doesn't take long, just a couple seconds.
Now, you did mention that weight cutting was a little difficult when you had 2 fights 13 days apart, and I know that's one of our topics today is changes in your diet and weight cutting. So you've been working on something new lately that I want to find out more about, and it's all about protein.
Yeah, everybody needs, that extra protein in their diet when you're working as hard as we are. It's just that for me, my body wasn't digesting the whey protein as well as it does the rice, plant-based rice protein. So, I was having a hard time with, I just felt like my stomach was always messed up, during the camps, and my body just digests the rice protein better. So I feel like I'm able to get more out of my workouts.
And you were part of a study that actually divulged this information. It was, let me get the exact name of the study here so I don't botch this. The body composition effects of extra protein in elite mixed martial artists over a 6-week period. I know that's a mouthful, but tell us about this study.
Basically what it was half the guys were taking the whey protein and half the guys were taking the rice protein, and then we were basically taking the same amount of protein and doing the same workouts, and they were just comparing how it affected our body and how our body composition changes during the camp.
in the end, did you recover faster then with the rice protein, or was it just that you didn't have the upset stomach anymore, or were you actually building more muscle?
The truth of the matter is, I actually was part of the whey protein group. I was taking the whey protein. It wasn't until after the study that I started taking the rice protein, just because I wanted to try it more than anything, and then I realized that it was that it actually worked a lot better for me. But actually, during the study, basically what they saw was that they were very comparable. The whey protein and the rice protein were basically, you want those? The whey protein and the rice protein basically have close to the same, pretty much the exact same results, which means, the whey protein, or in the past people had thought that the rice protein wouldn't break down as well, or couldn't, do as well under the strenuous, workouts that we go through. But the study showed that actually it works just as well. The rice protein and the whey proteins work just as well. And for people like me, I actually think there's a huge benefit for the rice protein, because the whey proteins are, they're just tough on the stomach. I mean, they've been known. A lot of people, it's not just me. I mean, there's a huge amount of people out there that their body just, can't handle it. They mess their stomach up really bad.
Now, let me try to clarify that a little bit, because I had a friend who had a gluten disorder where his body couldn't break down certain starches, like when he'd eat certain breads or carbs. Is that kind of similar to not being able to break down whey protein? Is it a similar process?
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I get punched in the head for a living, so I don't know. I'm not a scientist. You'd have to ask Doug or somebody who's a little more qualified to answer that question. But from the sounds of it, I mean, yeah, I'm sure they have some similarities. I'm just a guy that they put through the process, and it's been doing this for a long time, so I can compare them. The only person I can speak on behalf of is myself. Mm-hmm. And I've taken both the whey and the rice, and I feel like I get better results from rice because of the way my body digests it.
So then you're seeing right now in training, you're seeing a direct one-to-one benefit in that you don't have the upset stomach, and you're getting the same amount of protein, and you're able to train better as a result.
Exactly.
Well, that's fantastic. And speaking of the training, who are you preparing for? Who's coming up next?
Oh, I don't really have they haven't given me an opponent. I just training. I've asked a couple times about possibly getting something at the end of the summer, but Sean Shelby hasn't given me he said just be ready, he hasn't given me a date and a place and an opponent, but I'm sure it'll be here at the end of the summer. Hopefully the Dallas card. They're supposed to go back to Dallas, I think, September 8th possibly, so it'd be nice to get on that, fight at home.
Yeah, it'd be a nice local fight. Now, with your record, you like I've already mentioned, the 2 UFC records you hold and 6 wins in your last 8 fights. You're a guy that seems like big things are ahead, with your track record. So is there anybody that you'd like to call out for a potential fight?
No, to me, I feel like I get paid the same either way, whether I'm fighting a number 1 ranked guy or a number 100 ranked guy. So I don't really care. If they want to keep throwing me bombs, I can beat up. That's fine. I'll get a paycheck and a $50,000 bonus. And if they want to give me somebody that I can climb the rankings with, that's fine too. It doesn't matter to me.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And I'm looking at some of those names at featherweight and thinking about potential fights. I'd like to see the scrapper face. And, if they want to make an exciting main event for a UFC fight night, they could put you in there with somebody like Cub Swanson or the Korean Zombie or the bully Ricardo Lamas. I think those would all be great fights.
Absolutely. I've always been watching Cub for a long time and really respect his game. Super nice guy too, but I'd love to get in there with him for sure. That's always an exciting fight. As far as the Korean Zombie, I've had people ask if I could possibly fight him. I mean, yeah, all those guys would be great matchups. I feel like favorable matchups for me too, considering I just feel like my wrestling and grappling is a little better than all those guys, so I'd have a little bit of an advantage there,
It also seems like that might, if they get the Cub Swanson fight together, the one I just proposed, that'd be a great one for Dallas, because last time I saw Cub in person was a UFC fight night in San Antonio, and he had a hell of a main event in that night, so Texas seems to like Cub a lot.
Oh yeah, I think everybody likes Cub. I think Cub is very well liked everywhere, and just because he puts on those exciting fights, and that's what people want to see, you know.
Absolutely. Well, you do the same thing, Chaz. Your performances have shown that time and again. And, you know, I cover Bellator regularly for MMA Mania, and I was going over your record, and I even saw you had a couple of good wins in Bellator before you came to UFC.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, Bellator, I did a couple of one fight deals with Bellator, before I was in the UFC, so it was a good experience for me. It definitely got me that like main stage experience before I got up to the UFC. And I actually had I had a couple of really good fights with them. I fought a guy named Jared Card, who's just a tough guy. He actually, it was my first surgery. I think he broke my nose like crazy. And then, I fought Daniel Pineda, my second time to fight Daniel Pineda, and that was actually a good scrap too. So, yeah, I've had some good ones with Bellator.
And actually, you got that one in Texas, too. That was Grand Prairie, Texas,
I
believe.
Yeah, they were both close to home. I got Grand Prairie, Texas. I think I sold that arena out there that night. That was like all Azel, a bunch of rednecks screaming. Azel, Texas, a bunch of hillbillies in there screaming for me. But and then the other one was in Oklahoma at the casino. So actually I had a ton of people there too. So I always I love fighting at home because it gives everybody from my hometown a chance to come out, you know, as opposed to all those people can't come if I fight in Brazil or someplace like that. But if I fight in Dallas or Oklahoma or someplace like that, they can all show up.
Well, that certainly does seem to be a trend over your career, because I'm looking at the 20 fights on your record. It seems like at least half, if not more, have been in Texas.
Oh yeah, well, you know, try and plan it that way too. Texas doesn't have state tax, so another advantage.
Yeah,
just trying to keep as much of my money as I can.
Exactly, especially with how much we all get taxed these days. Keep as much of that money, those fight bonuses, keep as much of those as you can.
Right.
All right, Chaz, I really appreciate the time today, and I want to give you an opportunity to plug anything you like, training partners, your social media accounts. Please go ahead.
Yeah, guys, just check out Growing Naturals if you guys get the chance. They got a great line of products. The rice protein, they've got pea protein, rice protein. Of course, I enjoy the rice, chocolate. Other than that, I mean, I'm out here at Hard Knocks with Henry Hoof, best striking coach in the world. So don't miss us.
All right, Chaz, we're looking forward to your next fight. I hope it gets announced really soon, and everybody can follow you on Twitter at Chaz Skelly, correct?
That's correct.
All right, Chaz, thank you so much for the time today. I appreciate the interview and continued success in your training going forward for your next fight.
All right, thanks a lot, man.
No problem.
Thank you both.